Alvarado throws the baseball at 100 miles an hour. He averages 98.1 on his four-seamer. Sounds like somebody who'd be able to help the bullpen in a big way. That's actually where we're going to start this discussion. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or hockey. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. The bullpen ranked 27th in Major League Baseball in the 2024 season, and it did so with a reliever ERA of 4.49. That, of course, doesn't begin to describe some of the frustrations with the back end, specifically blown leads, blown saves, the individual struggles had by David Bednar, and on occasion, Colin Holderman and Aroldis Chapman, the three who were supposed to make up this formidable, awesome back end. In fact, there had been one ranking going back to this past spring that had the Pirates projected to have the third best bullpen in baseball. The problem with bullpens, this is not new, this is not unique to the Pirates, this is not unique to Ben Cherington's baseball ops people, is that they're the single most unpredictable thing in the sport, to the extent that nothing else even comes close. You can look at a reliever's ledger and think that you've got something. They can be in-house. You can think that you've got something. They can be having the greatest month of all time, and you can think you have something, and then they'll just blow up in your face. And from a player acquisition standpoint specifically, there's nothing that can make you look either smarter or dumber than going and getting a reliever. Here again, I'm going to emphasize this is not unique to Cherington when this sort of thing happens. So the clear approach this offseason from Cherington is to do what pretty much every GM does, and that's to just throw a whole bunch of them against the wall and see who it is that stick. At the winter meetings last week in Dallas, Cherington said the following, I'm going to read it verbatim: "We're looking to add as many talented young pitchers with good stuff to our bullpen mix as we can going into spring training. I'd expect that we'd look to target as many guys, whether it's through minor league free agency, major league free agency, trades, whatever combination. We want to build as much bullpen depth as we can and as many guys with interesting pitch traits as we can find. Try to get them into our system, leverage our people and information to try to help put guys in the best position." End quote. Translation: we've got no idea because no one does. This is not going to be, if you thought it's one of those shows that's going to rip into the baseball people or whatever. It's not. It's not. So to get back to Alvarado, this is different, okay? This is a different path. He's 25 years old. He's never appeared in a major league game. He's a converted outfielder. And this past season, in the Marlins system, specifically their AAA team in Jacksonville, he had a 2.79 ERA, 71 strikeouts over 39 games, walked 38 guys, 1.47 whip, which isn't great, but he throws really hard. And he's got a slider to go with it to keep hitters from really lining up the fastball, and they think that maybe there's something there. Here again, if they're right, they'll look really smart. If they're wrong, they'll look really dumb, and they'll be no different than almost anybody else. So, what do you do to improve the bullpen? Well, the number one thing is to fix Bednar. Bednar's got a history of outstanding command. I remain convinced that they messed him up by rushing him back onto the big league roster out of spring training because he was not 100%. And he had zero time after a couple weeks of near complete inactivity in Bradenton to pitch his way back. They just sent him across the state to Miami to open up the season, and he had nothing. He had nothing. It was clear as day. The Pirates swept that series, all 4 games, and Bednar was the one thing that made you go, what? Fix him. And do something similar for Holderman as it relates to the way he at times fell apart down the stretch. And after that, there's a whole lot of Carmen Mlodzinski and Dennis Santana. And, well, if there's one thing you can do, if there's one concrete action that you can take, it's to go and get yourself one big, experienced, reliable arm for support back there. Now, Cherington acknowledged in Dallas that the Pirates did want to bring Aroldis Chapman back. I'm on record here as saying I would have been completely fine with that, even if it was the same salary that he had last year, which was $10.5 million. I'm also on the record as telling you these guys will always go for the most money. And the Red Sox offered an additional $250,000, and there he went. There aren't many free agent relievers for whom I'd overpay, but I think it's one of the significant remaining expenses that the Pirates need to put on their tab. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Abandon ship, Bob. Sell the team. Are you a Pirates fan who is angry or apathetic about our perennial losing baseball team? Do you feel helpless because you don't know how to make a difference? Well, good news. We have something you can do about it. Join our Sell the Team movement. We're a group of passionate fans voicing our frustration and demanding change through billboard campaigns, press outreach, protests, and involvement at local city government meetings. Go to ourteamnothis.com to get involved.
Today's J1Q comes from Sam, who says, DK, in your reporting, you have the Pirates going up to a payroll of $100 million. I know it's early in the offseason, but the website SpotTrack has the Pirates currently at $42 million in commitments. With all the salary increases through arbitration, that should add another $20 million or so. However, the Pirates are not doing anything to cover the $35 million difference there, other than to add some 25-year-old rookie and now some 30-year-old journeyman and whatever. What is going to get the payroll up to $100 million? Well, Sam, I can't predict the future, meaning I can't sit here and say, they're going to get this guy and he's going to cost this much or whatever. However, if you look at both COTS and other websites that do payroll estimations, projections, and that other stuff, you'll see that they're actually around $70 million if you get to the estimated arbitration contracts they're going to have. Okay. Andrew McCutchen's going to be back. He's going to be back for $5 million. Same number that he played for last season. There's no reason for him to take a cut. Not necessarily a reason for an increase either. So now you're talking about $25 million that's left. I mentioned in the opening segment, I'd like to see some significant portion of that put into a bona fide back-end reliever. You still need a right fielder in some form or other. And then you got to get other bullpen guys. You can fish for these minor league free agents, as you heard Ben Cherington say at the winter meetings. You can also go for major league free agents. They don't cost too much. You can start bringing in a handful of them at around $2 million, $3 million, and you're right there. You're right there. That's it. It's funny how quickly that adds up. Now, I'm purposely being really vague, as I had outlined, because I can't say, oh, they're going to spend this much on a right fielder or they're going to spend this much on some big lefty at the back end. We don't know what that's going to be. We have an idea of what it would cost. And we also have an idea that at this point, trades might not be the best way to go, because the trade means you would send out some kind of pitching. And I just don't want them doing that. I just don't. I don't want this general manager making trades involving young pitching, the most precious commodity that the Pirates have, for hitting when he can't recognize hitting. So you're right there, man. You're right at 100. That's where this is going to be. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot. The Pirates going to do another one of these tomorrow.